104.1 KRVE.
KRVE HD1 Houston.
Cumulus Media Station.
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
It's a special broadcast.
Coming to you live from Texas Children's Hospital for Houston's Little Heroes. Today is dedicated to help Houston families with sick children.
We need your help.
Call 800-234-6217 or text KRVE to 51555.
Oh, yes, my friends. We are live at Texas Children's Hospital, the main campus right here in the medical center. It is the whole Roula and Ryan show. Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam. And we are looking for your dollars to help make this hospital make the magic happen.
Now, if somebody is just tuning in, a few minutes ago, we threw out a challenge. Eric is notorious for being a bad sport when he wins in a game.
Even when he loses.
Yeah, we do
Rapid
this
fire
game
quiz.
every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, the rapid fire quiz. We threw out a challenge. A miracle maker is somebody...
I wouldn't say bad sport, just confident.
Oh, no, you're
No, sore
man.
loser.
Anyway,
Sore
the excitement
loser.
that you missed
threw out
was
a
that...
challenge.
in
Let's say
the-
like the Altuve of radio.
Oh, my
listen,
God.
The thing that you missed is that in the 7 o'clock hour when it started,
Can't even say what I wanted
we
to
have
say.
something
No,
called a
he's not
miracle
sure
maker here at Texas Children's, where you will donate money every single month. It's going to be an auto donation.
It's just a debit.
set up by
Comes out of your
you for
account.
whatever amount. You're called a miracle maker. We had 45 by 7:45 a.m. So at 7:45 a.m. we asked for 20 more because if we got 20 more, then we will give away the rapid fire quiz wrestling belt.
It'll be autographed.
We got
You can come up to the
45
studio.
more, guys.
Wow.
So, Eric, you
We have
don't get to
90
keep
miracle
it.
makers in the 7 o'clock hour.
That's
Awesome.
incredible.
God bless you
Thank you,
guys. Thank you,
guys.
thank you,
I'd
thank you,
like to say
Houston.
they want to feel like me. They want to get this belt so they can feel like they're such a big winner. So I totally understand why you'd want to do
No,
that.
You
no,
are
no, no.
obnoxious.
No, they're going to wash the bad juju away from that belt.
Quiet
is what
your
they're gonna
face.
do.
Just say less. Just say less. All right. So here's how you're going to donate money. Very easily on text at 51555. Text the letters KRBE into the text field and go from there. If you'd like to make the phone call, it's 1-800-234-6217. That's 234-6217. And you can become a superhero for Texas Children's Hospital. And you can help fund the programs not covered by insurance, the equipment that is specialized, the research, and of course the patient services. Now we talk about patient services. The first visual that comes to my mind is the Positive Play program, which you may have heard us talk about extensively
And
over the
how
years.
is that spelled? It's not positive. It's pause.
It's PAW, Positive Play, PAW Play. It is a team of facility dogs that are specialized for every part of this hospital. They are facility animals. They are not just service animals.
We've already lost Kevin.
And we have spoken to Adair
We're not
over the
surprised.
years. Adair is the mama of Melman, who right now is the newest Positive Play team member. Bailey was the golden retriever that Adair had before Bailey retired. We did an entire Bailey Day on the Roula and Ryan show. We were so excited to raise money for this program. It's
Bailey's
one of the
retirement
programs,
was so
Your Money
awesome.
Funds. Hi, Adair.
Hey, Adair.
everybody.
Adair, you made it.
Yes.
I didn't think you'd
I
be here.
thought you were going to have your baby and not be here by this time. When are you due?
You're 2 weeks away from your delivery date.
Yay! Okay, so this is baby number 2 for you.
Yes.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? You're gonna be surprised.
We are having a girl.
Aw.
Sorry, we're having a girl.
Congratulations.
I have a boy at home, Davis, and this is going to be Margot.
Oh, little
So,
cutie Margo.
Come on, Ryan, do your character. Hey, Margot. Don't you always do that?
It's from.
don't know, Margot.
What is that,
The amount
Todd?
of times
I don't
my
know,
husband
Margo. Christmas vacation.
You're like, we need to change the name now.
Yes. No, it's fine.
No, but Adair, you had so many great stories with Bailey. Now Melman is the news service
Yeah,
animal.
how's it going with Melman?
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going really great. Melman's been here for about 6 months now. And of course, in my mind, I'm like, how am I ever going to have enough love in my heart or patient interactions? Because we've had Bailey for almost 7 years. But Melman has absolutely just been a godsend. He's so great. I feel like he's just picked up right where she's left off. His
good.
training from Canine Companions is absolutely perfect for what we need. His command base, his interaction, his energy level, his ability to read a room. My husband and I
There's
say
empathy, isn't there?
it's so amazing. He's like, how did we get so lucky to also have 2 dogs
Like this.
Like some people get a once in a lifetime dog,
Right.
and I have a
Yeah.
2 in a lifetime dog.
Well, now, Adair, does Melman do the same facility work that Bailey did, or
He
is it a
does.
different area now?
So we work in the heart center and in the ICU still, going and seeing patients all over. But it's been so great because Bailey was the princess of the PICU, and now Melman has taken on the role of the prince of the PICU, and Heart Center loves him. It's been so fun.
Can you share a story? Because you had so many great stories with Bailey. Can you share a story about how this sweet little dog has...
Not so little.
He's a big,
Melman is
golden
full size.
this dog has touched a child's heart.
Of course. So first of all, I love our hospital. I love our physicians, our nurses, our respiratory therapists, our PAs. Like, everyone is so great. I think a team that doesn't get as much recognition that they do need is our physical and occupational therapy teams. Those are the true unsung heroes of this hospital in getting kids to be up and mobile, and why we can work on them medically. If they're not getting out of bed, doing things and preparing them to go home and be able to do their daily activities, like walking upstairs, getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, showering, things like that.
Right.
That team is amazing. And so I co-treat with them every single day. That's where I have my big success stories, because they'll bring in like, hey, we're not getting as much interaction, or our patient isn't willing to participate, or we're really having a hard time connecting with these patients. They'll consult for Bailey or Melman or I, and we'll go in. And we had one patient a couple of weeks ago. She unfortunately was denied a transplant, so we're working on just comfort care, end of life situations, different things. And how do you encourage a kid who doesn't feel good, who doesn't want to get out of their room, to still be the best that you can be and help them still physically as much as you can?
Right.
And so our physical therapy, occupational therapy, and our music therapy team also got her to go to the fourth floor bridge, which is just right above us, and it overlooks the entire medical center.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And they asked if Melman and I would come.
Oh.
And so while they're singing Christmas carols, and her favorite one is The Grinch. So at the very end, when they're singing the Christmas carols, and it says something about like, I wouldn't touch you with a
10-foot pole.
Exactly. So Melman's favorite command is to speak. And at the end of each chorus, when that portion came up, Melman, I would give him the command to speak, and he would talk. And so then she would like point at him, and her eyes lit up, and she was so excited. She's also a huge fan of Deadpool, and so then when they
Can't
played,
quote that movie right
nope,
now.
sure not. But when NSYNC would come on for Bye Bye Bye, we took the ball, and as soon as that portion came up, she would scream Bye Bye Bye, and we'd throw the ball, and Melman would take off and then come back.
How great.
And to be able to do all of this, and her family videoed it and actually got to see her open her eyes. She was conscious, she was focusing, she was able to engage and to do all of these things that they hadn't seen in weeks. And so our facility dogs, I always say it's the power of the paw, because they get them to do so many different things.
How do you handle that? Like, as a human being, I see that. I'm getting welled up thinking about this.
I know.
Like, how do you do that? 'Cause
Yeah,
you got
how
an
do
extra
you not well up and just like
I mean, I know
fall
it's your
apart,
job, but still.
Adair?
I feel like I've become way more emotional after becoming a mom, but
say,
You kind of like go to just hold on.
Y'all, I love my job. Like, I love being a child life specialist. I love interacting with families. I love helping kids to meet their goals and to be what they need to be, or seeing families like, that's my kid. That's the kid I've been missing for the past couple of weeks. And so getting to do that really just brings a lot of satisfaction and joy to my heart that
Oh God!
I love doing.
Thank you for what
Adair,
you do.
let me let everyone know who you are and what we're doing here, because your stories are always so fantastic.
They are.
I mean, if you're not locked into the Roula and Ryan
Always.
show, and Adair is on telling you a story about a child and one of these positive play dogs, you're like, wait, what is this again? Adair
Yeah, pets and
is
kids, you can't-
in charge of Melman. Melman is one of the 7 therapy dogs here at Texas Children's Hospital. Adair is with the Positive Play program. She's a child life specialist. She is pregnant. She's about to give birth to her second baby in 2 weeks.
She's ready.
And she is still walking around this whole campus with Melman. She had Bailey for almost 7 years. Bailey retired in May. We did a big Bailey day. We had Adair in the studio with us.
Melman, when you're having your baby, does Melman go to someone else?
Melman will be on a paternity leave with me.
Okay. But still,
cute.
you know what? For these programs to happen,
Like
this
the
is where
Positive
we
Play
need
program.
you right now. So if you text KRBE to 51555, that's 51555, text KRBE, you can really make a difference, because you mentioned, you've had these animals with children as they're leaving this world. And it's the last thing that they'll ever do.
Or the brightness in her eyes, like you said. How old is that little girl that you just told us that
She's
story
7.
about? 7 years old.
Well, there we go. Right now, not on our first 7. Let's get 7 Miracle Makers right now.
Let's do it.
Miracle
Get 7
Makers
right now.
mean you are going to donate every single month. Kevin, what you got?
Miracle Makers like Leah S. with her monthly donation. Also, the one-timers. We love you guys, too. Jennifer, Flora P.
To make sure your mic is on.
Yeah.
It
doesn't sound like
that
it is.
loud. It was
Jennifer, Leah S, and Flora P. Thank you so much, but we need more Miracle Makers because
I'm gonna get
none of this is
7
cheap.
right now.
We need to give extra love right now.
Yeah, because the Positive Play program is one of the many categories of things that are happening in this hospital on the daily. And like you said, Adair, the occupational therapist, the physical therapist, it is an entire rotation of people that make this place work. And they are the unsung heroes because you think of a hospital, you think doctors, nurses, families there, patients are there. Okay, that's fine, but you don't really know all the minutia of every single program, of every single person. Now, of the 7 dogs, the therapy dogs that are in the program, what's the most amount of years you can work? Like Bailey worked almost 7 years. That's the max out, right?
So, yeah, well, we say we really rely on the handlers to know when the dog is ready to retire. So
Yeah.
Pinto, who's Bailey's brother, he just turned 9, and he's still working in our inpatient rehab unit.
Oh,
so
wow.
some of them, just like people, retire early, retire later.
It's a case-by-case basis.
Exactly.
Tell us all the names of all the dogs. I know there's
So
Pluto.
we have Pluto,
Okay.
who works in our outpatient clinic. We have Pinto in our inpatient rehab. Crosby is acute care. Lawton is in our hematology oncology center. We have a dog in the Woodlands campus named Cohen, and then Melman is for our main campus.
Hey, get Melman to speak. You mentioned that he can speak during the Grinch song.
Melman, speak. Melman, up.
Oh my
Melman,
gosh.
speak. Speak. Melman, speak. Good boy.
Let me try that with Kevin.
he's
All
just
right,
so
Kevin.
sweet.
Kevin,
So
speak.
sweet.
Yeah. It's the Roula and Ryan Show live at Texas Children's Hospital. We're going to be here all day, guys, here at KRBE. You can make a difference by donating money to 51555. Text KRBE to 51555. You can choose the amount of money that you want to donate today. If it's a one-time donation or you're going to be one of our magical miracle makers and you make a monthly donation, you can also call the hotline if that's easier for you. The hotline to donate is 1-800-234-6217. That's 234-6217. There are many ways all throughout the day that we are going to be asking you for money, but the bottom line is we want your money because the money stays right here in Houston because there are so many people who come here and the biggest fear you have is my child going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? But also, oh gosh, how much is it going to cost and can we even pay for this? You know, we talked to one of the doctors earlier this morning who it was so foreign to him that a child who needs a heart transplant, the parents go, okay, let's see if the insurance covers that because he's from the UK and that's not how it works there. And so this is where that money goes. The money funds the programs not funded by insurance or for those that don't have insurance.
Let's get those 7 Miracle Makers.
God bless you, Adair, for all your work, and I
Everything
hope
for
that
Adair.
everything is flawless with
Yes.
Margot's entrance into the
Good
world.
luck.
Thank you. Thanks,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
I hope Melman enjoys his paternity leave.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. We just love you guys. We'll be right back on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Oh.
It's the Roula and Ryan Show on 104.1 KRBE. We are live at Texas Children's Hospital today, guys, because today is the day that we dedicate to Houston and the care of the families and the children in this facility. We are at the main campus in the medical center. You know, Texas Children's is all over the city. They have the West Campus. They have Woodlands. This is the main mothership.
Yep.
And we are live in the Lester and Sue Smith Legacy Tower. I want to make sure I get that right. If you're looking for us, if you're in the hospital,
We're on the
or you're
third
gonna come
floor.
visit, we're on the third floor. We're at Legacy Tower. It's the Lester and Sue Smith Legacy Tower. We're set up here. You can't miss us.
Y'all, there are 855 kids at Texas Children's, 177 in the NICU. The ICU is 94% full. So we've been talking about the Miracle Makers. These are the people. You can do this so easy, y'all. Text KRBE to 51555. If you just make a small donation.
Or a
and-
big one.
Yeah, we'll take anything. But it just comes out. It's debited out of your account once a month. Think about it. If you gave up a cup of coffee once a month, you can change lives. These are programs that are not funded by insurance.
Specialized
Research,
equipment that costs hundreds of thousands, not millions
patient
of dollars.
services.
So expensive.
Yes, the patient services, like we just talked to Adair with the Positive Play program. They have occupational therapists. They have physical therapists, the doctors, the nurses. Every single facet of this hospital is so important. You don't even know what the machine
So
is.
we want to
working
throw a
behind the
challenge
scenes.
out right now. If we could get 10 miracle makers in the next
So you donate,
5
but you
minutes.
donate with the dedication that it's going to happen every single month. Any amount is fine. Text us at 51555. Text the letters KRBE. From there, you can go on to how many
Can we get 10
dollars you'd
people
like
in
to
5
donate a
minutes?
month.
That's all we need. In this big city, we've got the best listeners in the world. 10 people.
Special K is watching the tally, so
He
can
is. He just
shout
came
you
in and
out.
started writing down quickly.
Yeah, 1-800-234-6217. That's 1-800-234-6217 is the hotline if you would like to call. The phone lines are open now. If you would like to make a verbal donation over the phone, or if you want to text and navigate it yourself at 51555, text KRBE to that number, and we look forward to see who's going to become a miracle maker as we put the challenge out for 10 miracle makers while we meet our next guests. Now, our next guests are Ashley Letzos and her daughter Mckenna. Mckenna was diagnosed at 4 years old with a rare bone cancer, and Ashley and Mckenna are here to tell us her story. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mckenna, I love your bow. You look so cute.
So
Tell us
pretty.
how old you are now.
I'm 7.
You're seven. So what
7.
grade are you in now?
First.
First grade. What is like your favorite thing to do in first grade?
Probably, I really like to do, some math quizzes.
You like
Really?
math quizzes. I love that. That's really big, Mama, for first grade to pick math. I'd be picking art and recess and lunch. Ashley, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show. Tell us about your journey here at Texas Children's Hospital.
Well, it's quite a long one, but started when she was 4, and just had some chest pain, and we took her to the doctor, and they were nervous about her oxygen levels and said, I think you should go get an x-ray. And so we came here to the emergency room to get an x-ray, and they saw a pretty large mass
Really?
in her chest and said, I think you need to go to the PICU. And so we were admitted that night.
Wait, back up. The
Pediatric
PICU?
intensive care unit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That night.
That night.
That night,
Wow.
So, and they said, we don't know what type of cancer it is, but it's
Definitely
cancer.
cancer.
And so we spent a couple days there kind of figuring out her plan. And then about 2 days in, they told us that her body was just under too much stress, and her heart was working too hard. Her right lung was completely compressed by the tumor.
Whoa.
Her trachea was on the left side of her body instead of right down the center, and she couldn't swallow or eat or breathe. And so we had to put her on a ventilator.
So she had to be intubated?
Oh my god.
And this is all within what,
This
days?
is like 2 days, yeah.
Wow.
Gosh,
Yeah.
and how are you processing this as a parent? It's got to just be like, oh my God, this is like the worst news.
It was the worst news, the absolute worst news.
Now, Mckenna is one of 4 sisters. What number? What number are you, sweetie pie?
I'm the second oldest.
You're
Second
second
oldest.
oldest.
Okay.
Tell us your other sisters' names.
So the oldest one, that's older than me, her name's Audrey, and she's 8. So I have another one that's 4. Her name is Remy, and then I have one that is 1 year old, and she's Paige.
Oh my gosh, is Paige your favorite because she's 1? she's the
She's the baby. Baby is,
So
baby
fun.
is,
Does Paige get to be like your baby because she's 1? I wanted a baby when I was 6 years old, 7 years old, have my own baby, you have a real life baby. So within days you find out that your child not only has cancer, but it's the kind where they have to put her on a ventilator now because she cannot breathe and it's a mass taking up a lot of her chest. So then what was the plan?
So she had emergency chemo the same night that we put her on the ventilator. Because we just needed this.
I'm laughing
tumor
because
to-
McKenna just
McKenna's
adjusted
actually
her mama's
instructing her
mic.
mom how to
That's why I'm
talk.
laughing. You couldn't see that, but that was so cute. McKenna just adjusted mama's mic.
You are so grown
McKenna's in
up.
charge of quite a lot of things
That's
through
so
this
cute.
process. So
love
yes, no. So she had emergency chemo that night because we just needed to shrink the tumor as fast as we could, and she was just a lot.
And McKenna, what would you say to other children who might be a little bit afraid to come in here? What was it like here?
It was hard at the first part, but after you get used to it, it's really fine.
Right. And I look around and I see a lot of kids that are your age, and they do have smiles on their face. Is that because the people here are so cool?
Yeah.
I'd say so, too.
Did you get to meet the dogs?
No, I don't really like dogs.
Oh, you don't?
That's okay.
Well,
Maybe we can
that's
find
an
a cat.
acquired taste. That's okay.
I think they're Greek, right?
Oh, yes.
That's why.
Letos is a Greek name.
Oh, okay.
But
that
why,
explains
why
it.
is that?
Because Roula doesn't like dogs.
I have a dog. You know, Mckenna, I didn't have a dog for a long time. I got one 2 years ago. Her name is Charlie. She's really sweet. And eventually you'll grow into liking dogs. Maybe.
But it's okay if you don't.
We have some neighborhood dogs that she's okay
Yeah.
with, but she gotta have to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
But.
So, Mom, at this point, you're doing the emergency chemo. You're
How long does
literally
that
only
last?
there for just a couple of days, and this is already happening.
Yeah.
What happens next?
It was very, very fast. So since they didn't know what type of cancer it was, just the family that it was in, because she had a biopsy done. So they kind of took a shot. I think this type of chemo will work. It did. It ended up being part of her plan once we had her true diagnosis. But it was a 5-day chemotherapy, which ended up being one that she had to take every 2 weeks. We were in the hospital for 5 days.
Was this in order to prep her for surgery, to shrink it and then have
She would
surgery?
eventually get surgery about 4 months into treatment.
Okay.
Yes, to remove the rest of her tumor.
Okay.
And since it grew off the soft tissue in her ribs, she also had 2 of her ribs removed.
Oh, my.
And one completely rebuilt.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that is such a fun fact for you, though.
Missing one, but got a
You'd be like,
cadaver.
you know
bone
what?
in
I'm
there.
so cool. I have a cadaver, and I don't have
That's
a
pretty
vein.
cool.
That's a
You're
party
a
game.
special,
fact.
special girl, Mckenna.
If you're just tuning into the Roula and Ryan Show on 104.1 KRVE, we're broadcasting live from Texas Children's Hospital, and we're looking for your donations to make this hospital make the magic happen as we hear more of Ashley and McKenna's story. 51555 is the number to text KRVE. You can put your donation amount in there. If you give a Miracle Maker, which we're looking for 10 this hour, that's where you're going to give a monthly donation. You can also call the hotline that's open right now if it's easier for you to just do a verbal. 1-800-234-6217. If you're just tuning in, Ashley is telling us the journey of McKenna. At 4 years old, she was diagnosed with cancer because she was having trouble breathing, and within that night they were doing emergency chemo on day 2 for her to have this treatment to figure out what is going on, as her lung was compressed and her trachea was compressed and she was having chest pain. In the end, she spent how many days here? 50 days in the PICU?
50 days from when we were admitted to the hospital to when we went home for the first time.
Okay.
Wow.
So 50 days with PICU and our first day on the
Now, were you-
oncology and hematology floor.
Were you going home before the surgery, or?
We did go home before the surgery. She
Okay.
got to come home, and we came back and forth for her chemo treatments, and then they had to shrink it enough before it was ready for removal.
So then you get surgery, and then what
Yes.
happens?
Then she gets 6.5 weeks of radiation, daily radiation, which she had to be put to sleep for each day because you
So
can't
does that
move.
mean you were living here when that was happening, or you could go home after that? Because if she's going to get put to sleep.
It was shorter, so it's just a
Okay.
morning thing. So we would just we actually went to MD Anderson. They partner with them for children's radiation for that.
Okay, so that was how many days?
It was 6.5 weeks.
Wow.
That's rough.
So then after the radiation ended, then what was the plan for McKenna?
Then you just finish chemo.
Okay.
So now McKenna is
7?
in first grade.
7 in first grade.
Seven in
How's
first
she
grade.
doing now? How are you feeling, McKenna?
It's really good.
You're doing well?
Is she? What's her prognosis? What's her status, Mom?
She's cancer free. We've had clear scans since our last round of
All right.
treatment.
Thank
And McKenna, you love dancing now, so you're able to do that. How does that feel?
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Are you into competitive dance? Is that what you do?
Yes.
What's
how
your favorite
fun.
kind? What's your favorite kind of dance?
Probably jazz.
Ooh.
How long have you been doing that, McKenna? Like a year?
She started dancing when she was 3.
Wow.
But this is her first year on a team. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I
is.
see you're dressed for school. Your mama brought you on the Roula and Ryan show before your school day begins. So what a fun story you have when you get to school late and you tell
Do you have
everybody
a-
why you were late.
Do you have anybody you want to say hi to from school? Give them a shout out? Anybody that, it's like a teacher?
Maybe
Your teacher, your family.
She's like, whatever.
She's like, I'm the star.
Yeah, this is your moment.
She has the perfect little bow
It's
for
got
it.
me and my beautiful bow in my hair. Well, Ashley, thank
So
you so
glad
much
you
for
guys are
taking the
cancer-free.
time to come by our show and share your story. And what a true miracle you are, sweet little
Absolutely,
McKenna.
yeah,
You're so
no.
sweet. I just want to give you
Speaking
big
of
hugs.
miracles, how are we doing with the miracle makers, Kevin?
We need one more to reach Ryan's goal of an extra 10, but we do have a lot of one-timers with Mary S.,
Nice.
Tony C., Edgar C., Jessica, Alice, Anna, Megan, Becky, Kimberly. We see y'all coming all through. We need a couple more just to finish off this hour at 51555.
Oh, look at this one.
It's whatever you can
GHJN, I
do.
think it's Gagan P. He's a miracle maker at $50 a month.
Awesome.
Oh,
No,
wow.
Thank you so
That is
much.
really generous.
51555 is the number. Text KRVE to 51555, and your money is going to help the families and the children that come to Texas Children's Hospital for help in their most desperate of times, and they don't even realize it's going to be a desperate of time.
Now we got a big announcement. Do you want to do it here, or should we come back and then we'll make
We'll
the big
come back and
announcement?
do it.
Make the big announcement. What's going to be happening here soon?
All right.
Ashley Letsos
Stay
and
tuned.
McKenna, God bless you guys. Thanks for being on the Roula and Ryan Show. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, sweetie.
You are
Hoppa.
amazing.
Yeah, you're right. And we'll be back on the Roula and Ryan Show.
On KRVE, live from Texas Children's Hospital with Houston's Little Heroes.
That's what we are. We are at Texas Children's Hospital today as a team here on KRBE. The whole Roula and Ryan show is here, and we are trying to just make the biggest difference we can this year. This is our third year broadcasting all day as a team because we're going to be on until 1 p.m. today. You get the Roula and Ryan show until 1 p.m. today.
We have
And
met
then-
so many incredible people. There are so many people that make this happen. Think about this. 860 patients in this hospital right now, 92% full, 177 in the NICU. And if you want to make a difference, text KRBE to 51555. It's so simple, y'all.
And you can become a miracle maker where you are making a monthly donation of your choice. You know, any dollar amount is, of course, appreciated. And that is something that you can do via your credit card or auto bank draft. And it's just, we always say you don't think about it because it's like a streaming service. You signed up for something. You're like, oh, I forgot I'm doing that. And you're doing something so fantastic and great.
Yep.
And we have met doctors and families who have been,
Patients.
here
If
through
you missed it earlier, I
the
lost
system.
I lost my rapid fire belt.
Yes, Eric has lost. When we get back in the studio,
I'm so torn because I'm happy
we met our goal
they
that
got
hour.
the goal, but it's like, couldn't you guys wait until 8 o'clock to do that to me?
What Eric's talking about is the challenge that was thrown down was if we got 20 miracle makers
Like in
in 15
minutes
minutes,
or 15?
then we will put the rapid fire quiz champion belt up for grabs on the show next week.
Give it away.
And we got 45 miracle makers that hour, which was awesome.
This is our first full year with the belts, so I was like so excited to take it with me on vacation. And
Correct.
Nope. We're going to all sign it. Somebody can come up to the studio, take pictures. We'll show them the studio.
And I want to tell you guys that we are 16 minutes away from 9 o'clock. And 9 o'clock, the big announcement is the 9 o'clock hour, guys, is the power hour. What is a power hour? The power hour is where when you make a donation, it gets matched. The power hour from 9 to 10 is going to be sponsored by Reliant Energy. So they will match up to $5,000.
thank you, Reliant.
wow.
So
Wow.
we have
I
to
know
get
that's what you're
this
waiting
one.
for. And I do want to give a special shout out to Erica. She, her husband is getting waiting for a second liver transplant at, which hospital did you say right
St.
next
Luke's.
door? At St. Luke's. But their daughter was treated here and she had a 7-year battle with leukemia. Unfortunately, she lost her battle with leukemia, but it speaks volumes how Erica loves this hospital so much and the team, what they did for their family here. And they got to know this hospital so well. Her husband wanted a croissant from this hospital.
And then
cafeteria.
And they listen to
Wow,
us
guys,
all the
I'm here to
time.
get him a croissant because he likes the croissants here.
She heard we were here,
taking
so
his
she's
hit
like,
Luke's.
perfect, I'll go get the croissant.
Yes.
Will and Ryan tell my
And we
story.
got to
That's
see
what's
her.
so amazing about this hospital. Look, we're all human beings. We're all normal. And then one day, something extraordinary happens, and we're faced with a challenge, and it's how we do it.
And I know you like to make fun of like, oh, we don't do any this job, it's not important, but Erica would disagree. She was in tears over there telling us
I've learned my
how
lesson,
much
yeah.
we have been able to put
Uplift
a voice
her.
out and uplift people, make them happy in times when they're sad.
I learned that this summer when I met
mean,
somebody.
Shouldn't put yourself down.
No. I met somebody. Look, everybody serves a purpose in this life, and I met somebody this summer who he'd lost his wife, cancer, And he said that was their routine. They'd get back from treatment every night, and they'd listen to the podcast, which, by the way, you can go to krbe.com, and you can stream us anywhere podcasts are available.
Get everything up there.
Once again, if you want to make a difference, text KRBE to 51555. Kevin, where are we at right now?
Some of our miracle makers have really come through and gone above and beyond the goal that you had set before, like Diana and Chrissy, Vanessa, Ruzba, Gladys, Shiv, all miracle makers at 20 plus a month.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
So text 51555 in the text field, put KRBE, and then from there you can make the donation. If you'd like to do it on the phone lines are open as well. The hotline number to donate is 1-800-234-6217. You know, this campus has a staff of more than 2,000 medical professionals who work across more than 40 subspecialties. That is a lot. Mm-hmm. Nearly 50% of the patients here are either underinsured or uninsured. And that is why it's so important that we take one day out of our Roula and Ryan Show year, out of our KRBE year, to focus on this hospital, to get the money in this hospital. Texas Children's recorded more than 178,745 emergency center visits in the fiscal year of 24.
Wow.
I think I was 2 of those. Well, we were like, wait a second, the fever's way too high. What's happening? And everybody knows that Texas Children's is the place where you want to bring your kids for the right care.
Yep.
And it takes money to make every part of this hospital run, and we just want to do our part.
And now, if you're listening to us, you can hear us, but you can also go to KRB on Instagram. You can see photos of all of us right there. Look at with Adair right there. And Melman, and you can see Melman do the barking
program.
Oh yeah, it's all
is
there.
he barking?
Yeah,
we
got.
Go through all of our socials. You'll
Melman
see,
bark.
so you can see behind the scenes of us and just see how. Everyone's so inspiring here.
Oh,
we're all,
100%.
the smiles on our faces. That photo right there. Look at everyone just can't stop smiling.
That's a team effort.
I love that team.
I just love seeing that
Here's
photo.
some interesting facts about Texas Children's Hospital. Every time we're here, we learn new things. The brain tumor program here is one of the largest of its type in the whole United States. They treat over 140 new pediatric brain tumor patients every year. They utilize the patient's immune systems by modifying the cells to target the patient's own tumor cells. These are the miracles that happen at Texas Children's. Wow. And you need the right team and the right expertise and the right technology and the right equipment to make all this happen, and all that takes money. And that's why we're here. We're here for those kinds of things. We're also here for the underinsured and the uninsured. Because we were saying earlier that when families come here and you find out terrible news about your child is sick, here's the plan, let's get this done, then your question is does insurance cover that? We don't know how to pay for that. So that's what your money goes to. There's a lot of philanthropy in this hospital, and we don't want anybody listening to ever think they can't come here because they don't have insurance.
I think what's so amazing is this isn't a job for people. It's so much more than that. I was blessed to have volunteered here for a year, and some of the things that I saw, this goes beyond a job. These people, I mean, and they don't just treat the patient.
You can't just do this as a job.
No. And it's not just the patient, it's the whole family that they care for. Think about it. If your brother or sister is in the hospital getting treatment, and some of these kids, like I said, I was there for a year. I was here for a year. And there were some of the kids that were here when I got here and here when I left. Like, this was their home. They decorated their rooms,
especially the holidays,
to make it look like a bedroom.
It hurt. It hurts. It really hits home. Christmas time.
Oh, for sure.
These kids are like from Thanksgiving, Christmas.
And think about it, they're not local kids. A lot of these families are not locals, right?
No.
They had to come from somewhere.
From all
Last
over
year
the
with
world.
that family from San Antonio. They came here thinking they'd be here for a couple days. They were here for like 5 months.
If you're local, you're lucky.
If you're local, you're lucky because you can go back and forth to your home base.
Met a lot of parents who basically would bring their kids in. One young man who didn't want to miss any school, so did all his chemotherapy during the Christmas break and during the Thanksgiving break.
51555 is the number to text KRBE to make your donation. I asked my son last night. I told my kids know that we're here today. Obviously, they hear us in the car going to school, and I was putting my son to bed last night. He's 9 now. And I asked him, buddy, do you remember, you remember being in the hospital a lot? Because when he was small, guys, we didn't know what was wrong with him. He was really sick, and he was always looking sickly, and he couldn't eat, and we couldn't get him past 4% birth weight. I mean, not birth weight, just weight generally.
Where he needed to be, yeah.
Right, and we didn't know what was going on, and it turns out our house had black toxic mold, and the ground zero basis was his bedroom, and boys are more susceptible to the effects of black toxic mold than girls, so my girls weren't showing the signs as much as he was, and it just was this whole thing that we've been going through, and so we had a lot of visits here to to this campus, to the urgent care campus, to the West campus, to another urgent care campus. We know the ins and outs of the system. And I asked him last night when I was putting to bed, since we're going to be here today, I go, tell me something you remember about being in the hospital. Now, he doesn't really like talking about it, honestly. He's like, Mommy, I didn't want to think about it too much, Mommy, but I remember the video game. And we're talking about the Child Life Services.
Right.
It's more than just the Positive Play program. They have entire teams that when a child has to be given an IV, when a child has to be given an enema, when a child has to be given something that is just not going to be comfortable, they bring in a team to distract the child. They ask you what your likes are, and they bring in those things. If it's Legos, if it's a video game, and they were holding the iPad. It was almost like, I don't remember what the game was, guys, because he wasn't a gamer at the time. It was just something on the video screen. Almost reminds me of kind of like a 2017 version of Pong or something.
It was something like that. Keep your
for him to focus his eyes on where it was going and what they were doing. And so one woman was holding the iPad, and the other woman was like, doing something on his shoulder to distract him from what they were doing on his belly. And it really was like, those are the kinds of things
you don't think about. You just
don't know what they're doing. That's for sure.
All of those programs.
And that takes money to do that.
Right.
So
51555 and text KRBE, and you can become a Miracle Maker, or you have a monthly donation, or you can make a one-time donation. What you got, Kev?
Remember, by the way, we are 8 minutes away from the Power Hour.
Woo!
It's every donation. Every donation is important. And Amy, Ghana C, Kim T, and Shiv, thank you all so much for your one-time donations, but we always love the Miracle Makers as well. And you can always hit us up use the word KRBE at 51555, and there are so many different ways to donate.
And the Power Hour is coming up, sponsored by Reliant Energy, where they're going to match your donation up to $5,000. So
awesome.
We are really excited to kick that off. We'll be right back on the Roula and Ryan Show on 104.1 KRBE.